Welcome to the Spotlight Series podcast. I'm your host, Slick Sean. Man, I got the dopest gig in the world. I get to have conversations with entertainers and entrepreneurs and listen to their inspiring stories. You can stream the podcast at spotlightseries.net, watch on Roku TV, Facebook Watch, IGTV, and listen on all podcast platforms. In a world full of darkness, the spotlight is on you.
Tasha, did you know Geico could save you hundreds on car insurance and a whole lot more? So what are you waiting for? Hip-hop group tag team to help you plan dessert?
French vanilla, rocky road, chocolate peanut butter cookie dough. Scoop this, scoop this, scoop this, scoop this, scoop shakalaka, 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 shaka, scoop shakalaka, shakalaka, shakalaka.
Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
What's good, world? This is Slick Sean, host of Spotlight Series podcast. I got a special guest today. This brother don't need no introduction. Half of the hip-hop duo tag team, responsible for multi-platinum hit song Whoop, There It Is. This brother's an actor, voiceover talent as well, and airs on the Geico commercial Scoop, There It Is. Welcome, DC the Brain Supreme.
Sprinkle! Get you with see. Make sure y'all wake this morning.
We want to thank you for coming on to the podcast, taking time out your busy day.
Hey man, it don't stop. No, I enjoy doing this, man. You know, this is a blessing being able to talk to you folks like this, right? And I just appreciate y'all having me on.
Yeah, appreciate you likewise.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole Geico commercial, man, how did it pop off, man? Tell me how that came about.
All right, so there's a backstory to that, right? I think it was 2011. I'm working at Stroker. You know, I've been DJing Strokers for years, and I get a call, you know, at the front door, and they're like, "DC, you gotta come to the front door. There's a woman on the phone for you." And I'm like, "Man, if y'all don't take a number, take a message, like she will not get off the phone." I was like, "Which one of these heifers I done?" Thinking like that. I'm like, wait a minute. So I go to the front. I'm like, look, who is this? And she's like, I need to talk to you. I was like, look, you got to call me in the morning because the record about to go off. And I don't even know why you know, but she called me in the morning, the next morning on Sunday. And she told me who she was. She was a reporter from the New York Times, right? And she was like, DC, have you read the Gawker article? And I was like, no. She was like, the whole world thinks that Barack Obama was in your video. Right. And I was like, what? How did you even find me? She was like, it was very hard, my friend, but I found you. And that whole week we did press. I mean, the whole world, because, you know, they was trying to find anything bad about that dude back then. And everything blew up. And we did a week with all the major networks, ABC, CBS, NBC. We did Stephen Colbert. We did CNN, Jeannie Most. It was just bananas that week. Until they figured out it wasn't him. It was L.A. Snow. They took one frame of the video and it looked exactly like young Barack Obama. It was funny. But I was disappointed at the end because I felt like I had missed money, right? And I did miss money because I didn't have a web presence. We didn't have, you know, the social like we should have, even though that was the beginning of it. And I vowed that would never happen again. And that's what started my SEO career, search engine optimization. Website building, you know, the ability to get on the first page, any page I want in Google. And, you know, back then you type in tag team, it was all wrestling. But you type in tag team today, it's all tag team because it took me 10 years to get to this mastery, right? So I get a call from my acting agent. Hey, DC, you booked a Geico commercial. I was like, don't play with me. Don't play with me. I didn't even audition for a Geico commercial. She was like, no, you booked a Geico commercial. They wanted tag team. And I was like, oh, okay. They went to the website, got the number. Let me go check the tag team phone. So I checked the tag team phone. It was a message from Geico. And then I didn't answer the phone. So they went to my IMDb. And because I laid everything out and laid good breadcrumbs across the universe, they found my acting agent on my acting portal. And talk about synergy, it was like I let my agents make the deal, right? And it is the most lucrative deal I've ever made in my life. And it just goes to show you that, you know, there are no things in your life that are just happenstance. If you don't quit, things will happen later on, right? And that's the perfect example. I studied SEO forever, and because I laid it out that way, I was able to be found. Now that's simple. They probably would have been able to find me, but you got to make it easy for people to find you because they might have had four other people that they were thinking about, and they're like, man, they don't even got their stuff together. Let me go with the other group, right? Or go with another group, and they'll go with another pitch or whatever. So that's how that happened. And once we made the deal, then I really knew I had work to do because you get a Geico commercial, you're on tour forever. And we're in the middle of a pandemic. So I'm like, man, because Salt and Pepper did theirs in 2014. They hadn't stopped till the pandemic. And I'm like, we ain't gonna be able to do no shows. But I'm like, but you know what though? I'm not gonna just sit around and be happy I got a Geico commercial. I'm gonna take these lemons, make some lemonade, make me a lemonade company, franchise it, sell it for $20 million. That's my mindset, right? So I started training for I started preparing for the commercial because I'm an actor, right? And I could have just showed up and said what we doing. But I was like, this is special. I got to get the most I can get out of it. So I wanted to go in with 4 or 5 things to go to the director with, pitches to kind of make that commercial, pop and make it our own. And um, we had our production meeting the night before. And I went to the director, I was like, hey man, I got some ideas, man. What's up? And he was like, man, whatever you want to do, DC. And I was like, cool. I said, well, I tried to get this spin and scoop made, a fabrication. Couldn't find a fabricator. He was like, no, 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 it'll be done tomorrow. I was like, word. All right. I was like, I know kids love sprinkles. I don't know why. So I want a bunch of sprinkles there because I'm trying to do this salt-based sprinkle thing, and I'm trying to do the ode to LeBron James sprinkle. About to do a sprinkle food fight. About to do all the sprinkle stuff. He's like, DC, there will be a truckload of sprinkles there. And then being from Atlanta and from the South, we had to do the Yeek ATL, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And I realized that nobody really knew what we were doing if you don't know the Yeek because we were behind the counter. But if you know the Yeek, you know what we was doing. And all these things that the director made us do, we shot it that day, had a ball. They probably could have made 5 commercials out of what we shot. And those are the things that made this commercial special, right? The sprinkles and the just the tag team party fun aspect. Because every time I DJed at a party in this city, it was going down, right? And that's first and foremost. Can you rock a party? Can you move a crowd? And that's what we tried to do with this commercial. And when it dropped, I was like, word. Because I was trying to find anything I could find with it, but I couldn't find fault. The only thing I could find when they showed it to us for the first time was my finger was off beat by a half second pointing at the ice cream. It was like, boy, if you don't get out of here. But it was all good. And the beautiful part of this whole thing is that it changed my life in ways that I could have never imagined because, I'm a hustler. I play offense. I don't give up. If I start something, I finish it. And, people will always tell me things that I can't do. And people will always hate on you. And people will always be salty at what you're trying to do. But you can't you can't be in your emotions about that. You got to keep on going. You can't listen to nobody. So I was like, what am I going to do? And I said, I'm gonna get me a publicist and blow up acting and voiceover. So I tried to get a publicist, and they were like, "Well, we don't know what we want to do, and we usually do a junket in New York, and we do this, but we're in a pandemic, and everybody's working from home, and blah blah blah." And I was like, "All right, cool." And here go the hustle thing, right? I call them learn to learn hustle tactics. Whenever I get stuck, somebody tells me something I can't do. If there's something I want to learn about, I join an organization because organizations are filled with people who are expert in a certain profession, and they're in that organization to make that profession better and innovate. And they've been doing it 10, 20, 30, 40 years. So I joined the Public Relations Society of America. I said, I'm gonna be my own damn publicist, right?
yeah.
And 2 days in, I'm on a podcast, on a Zoom cast, and the CEO of this big PR firm is the guest. And I raised my hand. I'm like, our press release is relevant because, I do my due diligence. I got my stuff together. and I know they're relevant, but I want to hear what they got to say. And they're like, "Well, what's it for?" I'm like, "Well, kind of featured in this National Geico commercial called Scoop. There it is." And I'm looking at the chat. They're like, "Wait a minute, is that him? No, that ain't. It is him. Oh my God, what's he doing here? Hey man, I love that commercial. My kids love that commercial. My dog love that commercial. My cat love that commercial. Everybody love that commercial. This is a great commercial." The moderator eyes getting big. She's like, "All right, we like to welcome DC to the organization Georgia chapter." And but back to his question, our press release is relevant. And the CEO gets on and says, yes, because the whole last year has been, every story has been about COVID. Every story has been political. Every story has been doom and gloom. And here you guys come throwing sprinkles, spinning scoops, dancing, and DC, your smile just lights up the world. And I was like, whoa. And she was like, not only is that press release going to work, but you're going to go here to get in front of all the TV talk shows. You're going to go here to get in front of all the publicists. You're going to go here to get in front of all the podcasts. You're going to go here to get in front of all the journalists. You're going to make sure your pitches is this. She gave me the entire breadth of her expertise and her game in 10 minutes. And I have not looked back. And it has opened doors for me that I could have never thought possible, never imagined. And it's the reason that you and I are talking right now, right?
Yeah.
Because I basically have my own PR firm because I do this every day. And this is right here. This is the goal. This is the hustle now. Because now I realize that in combination with SEO and PR, I can get in front of anybody I want to get in front of. So when I do, when I'm on a Tyler Perry episode, A House of Pain, I could do a press release and the world gonna know. Because basically a press release is a Trojan horse for me, right? So this is learn how to learn. These are hustle tactics that I've developed over the years, being in these streets of ATL, doing my thing and getting this paper, right? But now it's on a whole nother level because, I'm able to get in places that people can't go, or people would even think about, right? So that's what the Geico commercial did for me. And, you know, it's coming back. We about to do a big giant whole just it's about to be bananas. I can't even talk about it.
Yeah.
There's things I want to talk to you about. I'm under non-disclosure agreements. I can't even talk about it.
Yeah.
That's how much the PR did for me. And when I dropped that press release, that was Super Bowl week. I dropped it on a Wednesday. I get a call from the Dan Patrick Show on Thursday. I'm on the Dan Patrick Show, national TV, on Friday.
Dope.
2 weeks later, I'm on the Tamron Hall Show, national ABC daytime, because of a press release. That press release got me more than I could have ever imagined. Then I dropped the press release because we were the grand marshals of the Talladega 500 NASCAR race. All we had to do was make a video saying, "Gentlemen, start your engines," but we did it so hype and so fly.
Yeah.
I dropped that press release. I ended up signing with one of the biggest voiceover agencies in the world that week, right? And it just keeps going and going and going. And not only did I realize that the press release does all that, but now I know that it supercharges social media because I buy the big package. So now I can take that and blow the hell up out of social media and it comes back to me, right? Learn how to learn. Yeah, y'all ain't ready for my hustle. I promise you.
Yeah, you definitely got that hustle, man. And when you bring up press release, that you right, man. The press releases they are important, and like you said, they leave breadcrumbs
Yeah.
and they find you. That's how I found you.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
podcast, I think it's a podcast guest
Yeah,
.com.
podcastguest.com, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I
I
couldn't
said,
believe it.
let me do every platform, right? Let me buy the biggest package every platform has so I can see what works and what don't work. I've been the guinea pig for everybody, right? So now I can put everybody on game like, nah, don't mess with that. That's too hard. Don't mess with that. That's too, they don't got it right. But podcast guests, a lot of people are like, well, with podcast guests, you just be getting any old body. I said, but that's the beauty of it. It ain't about any old body. We all the same. You know what I'm saying? If I could get on somebody's podcast and touch their readers and touch them and put them on game, That's my responsibility because I done been in the game. People don't want to hear what I've done read in a book. They don't want to hear what you don't read in the book. They want to hear what you've been through. And if you come through on positive thing after positive thing after positive thing, now you got them. Now you're making people's lives better. That's what it's about. Because I give what I want first. And when I give what I want first, I get 10 times more in return. Right? I don't think about it. It ain't no quid pro quo. If I do this, then I get that. No, you don't plant a seed and then sit down and look at the seed, be like, all right, seed, grow. Come on, seed, grow. Grow. This seed ain't working. Man, this seed don't work. I quit. Now, that's far fetched, but we know people who think like that. Girl, I'm gonna take this real estate class and I'm gonna be rich. I thought you was gonna take that real. Yeah, well, it wasn't for me, right? Uh-uh. There is no quid pro quo. You plant them seeds, you keep it moving. You play offense because you don't know what type of seed that is. You don't know how long it's going to take to grow. You don't know what it is until it come back and hit you in the head because you planted it. That's why I said when I planted that SEO seed, it came back and served me with the Geico thing. You don't know what it is. You just you just put stuff out in the universe and you nurture it and you keep going. And if you keep going, those seeds, and it's crazy because I realized I've laid so many seeds in my lifetime that at this point right now, I'm standing before y'all in a forest opportunity that is blowing me away. I'm getting hit by branches, leaves falling on me, monkeys in the tree. I mean, it's just bananas. That is all due to hustle, not quitting, playing offense, and keeping it moving, man. And learn how to learn. So I don't mean to get all TD Jakesy on y'all, but hey, man, that's what I'm about. It's my responsibility. I've been in the game for 30 years, you know what I mean? And I've been blessed. Why wouldn't I? Like people trip out like, man, you be just giving everybody just everything. And I be like, yeah, but don't you be afraid that somebody's like, no, because being in them clubs, Magic City, Atlanta Live, Cobalt Lounge, Strokers, all the biggest clubs in this city's history for the past 30 years. I was a hustler, but I know if you're in these streets, people is watching your hustle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna take your hustle. And people like, aren't you worried about people taking a hustle? I'm like, no, because I got 10 hustles in the hole. So when you be like, ha, I got your hustle, I'll be like, cool, I'm proud of you. You can have that hustle. But here's my next hustle. Catch me if you can.
Yeah.
Because you don't even know what to do with that hustle you just stole from me. And by the time you
Right.
steal it from me, it's obsolete. Because
Mm-hmm.
I don't nurture these hustles in the hole. And then some of these hustles I can do 4 or 5 at a time. So I'm gonna leave you just confused, like, damn, still making money. How you making money? Like, it's preparation, right? You have an idea and you start preparing for it. And then all those hustles lead to other hustles. What I did in the club game in Atlanta, I would really started all of it. I said I'm not gonna be taken advantage of again financially, business wise, whatever. Because I went through some legal stuff with the record company. So that started my career as being, I'm not even gonna say entrepreneur, just started my career not being a dumbass, right? And I just said, I'm gonna run my life like a corporation. It's that simple. If you live your life like that, learn how to learn and just keep it moving and don't expect nothing in return, things will happen for you.
What's next for you?
I don't know. But see, that's the whole
Whatever
thing about
comes.
preparation, right?
Yeah, you prepared.
Some could come left field, but I'm prepared for it, right?
Yeah.
Because I've set it up, right? So, what I through them press releases and through all that stuff, I throw stuff in the universe. Like I had a big meeting with my agents, and they're like, "DC, what do you want to do?" And I was like, "I'm happy what y'all do for me, being humble." DC, nah, what you want to do? I'm like, nah, y'all good. Like DC, what is your bucket list? I was like, that's a different question. I'm like, I want to be in the Mandalorian. I want to be in Star Wars universe, live action or animation. I want to be in Marvel movies. You know what? I want 5 lines with The Rock. You give me 5 lines with The Rock,
Right.
I'm good.
Exactly.
Because I want small parts in big movies. I don't gotta be a star. I just want to work, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you start throwing stuff out there, it start coming back. I start throwing these things out there like December, January. Now I'm auditioning for Star Wars animation movies. Now the world is coming back to me. You don't know when it's gonna come back to you, but you throw so much stuff out there, it's always coming back to you.
Yeah.
Yesterday we just started a relationship with WWE Wrestling. They want to
Yeah.
put us on in a way that's gonna be so damn
What?
lucrative.
Ooh, I know it
And it ain't
is.
even got nothing to do with rap. Like I might be the ring announcer because I do the voiceover because I can do this, right? I
Yeah.
might be, I might do their, WWE live this Wednesday. I might do that for them, right?
Mhm.
Because I'm cold with it. Because I've been putting in work. That's all you gotta do is put in work, and you're gonna look up one day. You'll be like, man, I'm kind of cold with it. So,
Oh, I see you fire on that grill too. You
huh?
got some cooking skills, man. That
Oh
looks
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
pretty
Like
dope, bro.
they pitching me for a cooking commercial, not commercial, but a cooking show, right? And I know it's gonna work because I just can't talk about it, but I know it's gonna work because it's a cooking show like ain't nobody ever done. It ain't gonna be one of them cooking shows where it's like, them cooking shows. I'm not even gonna put no shade on them because I'm not judging nobody, but
Mhm.
I know how I want mine to be, right? And then it's gonna be like, yo, that's entertaining. And that's how you do that? Okay, cool. Just simple stuff. Just
Yeah.
teach people how to cook, man. Teach people. I mean, how somebody don't taught you how to cook? Well, hey, DC, how you cook rice? Well, there's a couple ways you can do it, but this is the best way I know how to do it. And you just show them. And now somebody can cook rice perfectly forever, right? Because
Yeah.
it be little stuff like that.
Little
You
stuff.
might have
Yeah.
some good, made some good smothered chicken, but the rice ain't right. You know what I'm saying? The rice too mushy, or
Oh
you know
man.
what I'm saying? Like that don't the rice ain't seasoned and it's bland. Come on now. This is how you do the rice for anything you want to do. It's all good,
Yeah.
right? Like I lost 100 pounds because I re-engineered food because I did keto. And it was cool at first because it was like, oh man, I'm losing weight like crazy. But then it was like I hit a wall and it was like, I want some fried chicken. And I had to re-engineer it. And I was like, and everybody's telling me, well, you can't do it like get an air fryer. I ain't want to do no air fryer. Fried in olive oil. Because olive oil is the good oil, right? There's two good. There's fish oil, olive oil, and coconut oil. I can't stand coconut and the smell of it. So I would use coconut oil, but I can't stand the smell of it. So I use olive oil. And everybody's like, well, everybody comes up with an excuse. Well, olive oil burns. It has a high burning point. So you can't use that. I was like, yes, I can, because as soon as I finish frying that chicken, I got a big vat with a cone and a strainer and filters, and I filter that grease, and now I get 15 fries out of one jug of grease, right? One jug of olive oil that's not burnt, but every time I fry it, it gets more seasoned until
Mhm.
about time 10. I don't even got to season the chicken. My goal, it's not even a goal, it's just my responsibility is to talk to people about the things that I've been through and put people on game about the things I wish somebody had talked to me about when I was a young man, right? And that's my responsibility, and that's what I do. So,
Yeah.
and I want to really thank you guys for bringing me on because I learned more by running my mouth. I figured things out by running my mouth, right?
Yeah.
I've got like 4 or 5 ideas today just by running my mouth. They're in my head, but
Yeah.
it's like different ways, different approaches, different tactics.
Mhm.
By just looking at how y'all listening to me, doing these podcasts, I do 4 or 5 a day. You
I know
practice
you do.
articulation, you practice this, you practice that. You practice meeting different people. That's why when they say you want to do the main one, like it don't even matter because I've learned how to take these podcasts. I could take a podcast and it's getting to the point where I can blow you up and blow me up because I know SEO, right? So
Mhm.
I can take your podcast, add schema to it, schema markup, and if I do it right, now your podcast is gonna be on pages that got to do with me and pages that we want to be on. And now the world is seeing that podcast and like, I wonder what that podcast is. And now you're gonna get more listeners. I'm gonna get more social media hits. And it's about engagement, not likes. Remember
That's
that social
correct.
media is about engagement, not likes. That's why people don't like social media because they think they got to go shake their booty so they can get some likes. And they think that's what it's about. And that's not what it is about. It's about
It's not.
engagement,
It is for sure.
right? Like we are engaging. There are
Mhm.
people who are gonna look me up and say, what the hell he got going on? Because that's engagement, right? So, hey man, I love to learn. It is my
Yeah.
favorite thing to do.
We want to thank you for coming through, man. I'm in Atlanta, man. I'm gonna have to come through one of your events that you're doing, man. Hit me up when you got
Yeah,
something going on in the city, man. I'll pull up.
but I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a great day.
And we appreciate you
Thank
Thanks
too.
for
you.
having me. And
You
And
too.
in a world
sprinkle.
full of darkness, the spotlight is on you. That's right,
No,
sprinkles.
Word. Word.
Thanks for watching Spotlight Series Podcast. I'm your host, Slick Sean. You can follow on Facebook, Spotlight Series Podcast, on IG, spotlight.series1. You can stream the podcast at spotlightseries.net, watch on Roku TV, Facebook Watch, IGTV, and stream on all podcast listening platforms. In a world full of darkness, the spotlight is on you.